Hello, I'm Victoria Carlton. I'm an educator. I work with teachers, I train teachers, and I develop products for teachers as well. I'm going to share a strategy that I have developed to help very reluctant kids with their writing, and it's called Mind Journeys. And I'm going to just share a little bit about how this came about, why I developed it, and a little bit about how to use it. I've actually put some of them together in a book called Mind Journeys. I've got just a very limited amount of these left, and the book will be reissued again fairly soon. So, why did I start doing it, and how did I start doing it? So once you get the general idea, you will be able to start using this process yourself. And you can also start to write some of your own mind journeys. So when I say mind journey, think visualization. I just call them mind journeys because I want the kids to realize that when we're using a mind journey, we're exploring our mind as we write. We're visualizing. We're making up like a movie in our brain as we write. So got a little bit here about what's in the book, because you sort of have to get the kids relaxed. So I do a few relaxation exercises to help. And I've worked with children now all over the world using this process, and I know it really works. So I started to become aware that kids were having problems imagining, and it might be because of the media that they're using, their devices, a lot of TV. It could be all sorts of different things. But I needed to break through, because a lot of kids said that they were having problems imagining the stories that I was reading to them, imagining what they were trying to write about. So I needed to try and do something. And I had a particular group of year 8 boys at this stage. And no matter what I did, I could never get more than 2 or 3 lines of writing from them. So I came across some visualizations that were written to help children to relax and sleep. And I read them and I thought, I wonder if I read some of these to kids, would it help them to relax about the writing process? And might it help them with their imagination? So I took these year 8 boys and I used them as my guinea pigs. I tried this out with them and they loved these visualizations. They absolutely loved them. And then I started to get them to write straight after it. And they actually requested the funny sort of writing, as they called it. So I became quite convinced, because I could see that these children, they were really older boys, they were able to access their imaginations through this process. And so I started to look at other ones on the internet that I could see. I started to use more. I started to use this process with different age children as well. And then I wondered, could I write some myself? And a particular autumn day came and I sort of felt quite inspired to have a go at doing it. So I did, and I tried it out with children, and the kids liked it so much. And I thought, anybody can do this. Anybody could do this, and this would really work for teachers. So basically, when kids listen to a visualization, I have them relaxed, I have the lights down. Sometimes I have the lights off and just little lights around. And I ask them to imagine they're with me as I read the mind journey aloud to them. So I read them a mind journey slowly, and they have to imagine that they are with me. So they usually sit on the floor and they usually have their eyes closed as we do it. And as soon as I have finished reading that mind journey, I say to children, now we're going to draw and write about what you saw with me on the mind journey. And I'm amazed at how much the children can write after doing this. They become really engrossed. They often don't want to stop. They love to share what they have written. And even with the most reluctant kids, this seems to work. So I've made up mind journeys to go with books that I really love. So, and I talk to the kids a lot about how when we daydream. We're doing what Einstein said we should be doing. He said that we need to imagine, we need to daydream everywhere. So I said, that's what we're doing. We are learning how to daydream. We are learning to get into our imaginations. So the kids start to do a lot more drawing about what they're imagining. We start to explore different books. We start to look at seasonal visualizations that we can use as well. I usually lead them through a very, very fast, well, I don't say it fast, but it's only about a 1 minute little mind journey to just dump our worries over a bridge before we start. So the kids are sort of relaxed, and then I go into the mind journey, the particular one that I've chosen. So for some of the kids, it might be, let's meet a lion today. And so we talk to a lion, or I talk to the lion in my mind journey, and the kids are imagining this journey. This is a particular one that comes from a Leo Leone book that I read to the children, where the children get to meet this very strange crocodile that can walk. I've written one over the last couple of years about children going up to the top of a very ancient tree and looking at Australia and imagining what it would have looked like 500 years ago, and thinking about the Indigenous people and how they lived, all sorts of things like that. So I've woven it into history, geography, into literature, all the books that the children really enjoy. I tend to sort of develop mind journeys to go with them. We've gone into fairy tales. We don't get snow very often in Western Australia, or certainly not very much of it, but I take the children to different parts of the land and to experiences that they would really like to have. And I find that this really works. They've got one particular one at the moment about a mermaid that the children are loving and responding to really well. We talk about what would it feel like if you could, zip through the air? How would you feel? And I take them on a mind journey where we actually do that. And then this one is a mind journey where we talk to a snake, all right? And the snake tells us about its journey and how it feels and what it feels like, because everybody is frightened of it. So I take them to many different places within their imaginations. And really, with this approach, the sky is the limit. After we finish, I always say to the kids, I want you to write and write and write. I ring a little gong. They write for about 8 minutes, and then we ring a gong at the end, and then we edit our work and we share. And if we want to go back into the writing process, we do for a little while. It depends on the age of the children. But, I've developed a little poem that we often say just as we're starting to begin our mind journey. But what I want to say to you is this process works, and you can develop your own visualizations as well, because we owe it to children to help them to access their imaginations. And I truly believe that this is the key to getting kids to love writing, to really enjoy the creative writing process. So thank you for listening. If you do try this approach out, or if you would like to know more about the book, please contact me. You've got my email address there. You've got all my contacts. Lovely to talk to you, and I will see you again soon. Bye.
For more of Vitoria Carlton's tips, go to YouTube and search Vitoria Carlton Programs. Victoria's products are available on Teachers Pay Teachers. They cover literacy, emotional intelligence, and Sunday school lessons. Victoria's website address, blog, and email address are on the screen in front of you. Vitoria Carlton reserves the right of copyright on all her products.